So this is a yoga practice for the triathletes and the cyclists. It's for mobility and strength and should be around about 30 minutes for you. Begin by lying down on the floor. Just take your legs apart and let your feet relax out to the sides. Take your arms away from your body and turn your palms up to face the ceiling and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale with a soft sigh. And again, deep breath in and let go with a soft sigh. And lying here, let's establish your yogic breath. So as you inhale, guide your breath deep down into your belly space, let your belly swell. Begin to extend your out breath until it becomes almost twice as long as your in breath. Breathing through your nose. Use your out breath to relax any tension. Let your head feel heavy on the floor, your shoulders relax, your jaw relax. And as you breathe deeply in, feel 360 degrees around the circumference of your diaphragm. So let this be a non-competitive space for you. You've got nothing to prove when you do your yoga and no one to beat. You're not going to stain your practice at all by striving in any way. If you feel pain at any stage, you need to come out of that shape that's creating that pain. And when you go back into it, maybe don't go quite so deeply. Keep your focus on your breath now. A regular, consistent practice will help to cultivate a beneficial, mindful connection with the moving body. Okay, so from here, turn your palms down to face the floor. Inhale, stretch your arms up towards the sky. And breathe out, take your arms behind you, clasp your fingers together and turn your palms away. Inhale. And exhale, stretch your palms away, reach into your heels, point through into your toes, and then relax. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring your arms beside your body. Slide your heels up towards you. Feet hip distance apart, outsides of the feet parallel. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, press your lower back into the floor, curl your pubic bone in towards your belly button, getting some length in your lower back muscles. Inhale, relax. Repeat that now, press down into your heels and now float your bottom off the mat as you breathe out. Inhale and gently let the back come down to the floor. Exhale, press your lower back into the floor, curl your pubic bone in towards your belly button, press through the heels, float your spine up. You're trying to move the spine as segmentally as possible. And then inhale and lay your back down to the mat, bone by bone. Keep working with this, just mobilizing your back, lengthening out through the hip flexors. And strengthening through the posterior chain of muscle groups. Next time you find yourself with the hips lifted, just hold it there, press down through the heels, lift a little bit higher. And then on your next out breath, let your bottom come back down to the earth. Hug your knees into your chest. Slide your hands behind your head, bring your elbows up so you can see them in the corner of your eyes. You're going to float your head off the mat and let your head feel really heavy in your hands so there's no strain on your neck. Press your lower back down into the floor. Take a breath in. On the out breath, extend your right leg to 45 degrees and lift your right elbow up to the outside of your left knee. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, extend your left leg, lift your left elbow up to the outside of your right knee. Inhale back to the center, head halfway down, head held by the hands. Repeat, exhale, right leg away, right elbow up to outside of left knee. Inhale to center. Breathe out, left leg away, left elbow over to outside of right knee. Inhale, center. Keep working with this. Try and breathe through your nose if you can. Keep your mouth soft. Really press your lower back down into the floor with each out breath and twist. One more each side. And then release your head down to the floor. Take your feet to the floor and get your feet mat distance apart, slightly wider than your hips. Take your arms out at 45 degrees. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to rock on your feet and take your knees over to the right. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, rock on your feet, take your knees over to the left. Keep working with this, just rolling from the inside and the outside of each foot. Inhaling up, exhaling down. We'll just roll through a few more, just easing up the back. And when you find your knees over to the right, you're going to just hang out here, just stretching through that left IT band. If you want, you can pick up your right foot and you can rest it on the outside of your left knee and just let the extra weight of the right leg stretch through that left hip. Now breathe deeply and fully. Getting used to integrating the movement of your body with a conscious breathing pattern. Release your right foot back to the floor under the knee. Inhale, come back to the center. And exhale, take your knees over to the left. Again, you can just rest here if that's enough, or if you want more, you pick up your left foot, rest it on the outside of the right knee, and enjoy that stretch through the right waist, the right hip, the IT band. And release the left foot back underneath the knee. And inhale, come back up to the center. Hug your knees into your chest, hands behind the knees. You're going to roll up to sitting, unless you prefer to roll to one side and come to sitting. Inhaling, coming up. You're going to come onto your hands and knees. I like to cross my ankles and roll over, but if your hips are a bit tighter than mine, then you might want to just come to your hands and knees in your own sweet way. Cat and cow. Inhaling, belly drops, gaze lifts, look up. Exhale, really scoop your belly in towards your spine as you curl back. It's just a nice way of engaging with your core muscles on that out breath. Beginning to mobilize through the shoulders. Regular, rounded breaths. And then release. Adopting the press-up position, walk your feet back, hip distance apart, and set a straight line, lifting the knees off the mat between your heels, your knees, your hips, and your shoulders. Don't sag through the shoulders. Lift the thoracic spine here between the shoulder blades up. Lift your thighs towards your hamstrings. Lift your shin towards your calf. Now, if you want, you can drop the knees to the floor, but keep a straight line between your shoulders, your bottom and your knees, or you can keep the legs straight for press up. Exhaling, coming halfway down. Inhaling, coming back up. Repeat. If you want to, just drop the knees to the floor and work here. Keep looking just in front of your hands as you work. If you need a rest, give yourself permission just to drop the bottom back towards the heels and take a couple of deep breaths, recovery breaths. Much better to take some rest and not lose the form. So come back into the press-up position if you've taken rest. Choose whether it's straight legs or not, and work here. Another 5 to 10. Maybe 5 full ones, maybe 5 half ones. And when enough's enough, you're just going to sink your bottom back towards your heels. If you want to, you can make 2 fists to rest the forehead on. If you have a handy block available, you can take your forehead to a block and just use a couple of breaths to allow yourself to settle. Coming forward onto your belly, walk your hands towards the front of your mat. Inhale, and as you exhale, come onto your belly. Stretching through your hip flexors, lift one leg at a time and just replace them down so you've got some space at the front of that tensor fasciae lata. Come up on your elbows. Have your forearms parallel with each other, elbows just in front of the shoulders or further forward if you feel any pinching in the lower back. Let your thighs feel heavy. Anchor your hands and pull your heart forward and lift up through the crown of your head. Now settle back into your breath. Have a sense of feeling the upper spine shifting forward towards the breastbone. Don't let your neck sink down into your shoulders. Keep lifting your ears up. A few more deep breaths here. Thighs heavy. And then take your elbows wide, take one hand on top of the other hand under your forehead and take rest. If there's tightness in your lower back, you can bend your knees and you can just windscreen wiper your shins from side to side and release that. Okay, moving into some locust work to strengthen the posterior chain. Extend your arms out in front of you, feet hip distance apart. Bring your neck into neutral. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift your right leg and left arm up. And now get really long. Extend from your belly button into your right toes and your belly button into your left fingertips. Exhale down. Inhale, lift left leg, right arm, hold, breathe. Exhale down. Now keep working with this. Inhaling, opposite arm and leg. Exhale down. Inhale, opposite arm and leg, other side. Exhale down. And when enough's enough, come to stillness. You're going to bring your hands back by your, slide your hands back so the heels of your hands are by your waist and your fingertips are where your heart rate monitor goes. Bring your legs together. Lift your shoulders up and send your shoulders down towards your elbows. Squeeze your legs together. Extend from your belly into your toes. And with an in-breath, lift your legs and lift your heart and get really long from your crown into your toes. And breathe deeply. This is your locust. Salabhasana in Sanskrit. And then exhale down. Come back into your Sphinx and turn your toes under. Elbows just in front of the shoulders. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, drop your chin to your chest. Lift your spine up between your shoulder blades. Lift your spine off the mat. Float your hips off the mat and float your knees off the mat till you're into plank. Keep extending your tailbone towards your heels and look just in front of your hands. And breathe here. Again, the action is the shins pressing up into the calves, the thighs pressing up into the hamstrings, the belly lifting to support the spine, the breastbone lifting up to support the thoracic. And when enough's enough, gently come down, elbows come apart, rest forehead on hands. Maybe take a couple of deep recovery breaths. Coming back into that plank from your Sphinx shape when you're ready. So establishing your Sphinx, dropping your chin to your chest, lifting your spine, lifting your belly, floating your hips off the floor. And once you've established the straight line, taking the gaze between your thumbs. Try and hold for at least 5 slow, deep breaths or more, depending on your capacity. Dropping the knees to the floor, dropping the belly down, sliding the hands under the shoulders, and pushing up onto your knees. Come up on your knees, and you're going to set your knees hip distance apart. You're going to press the tops of the shins down into the floor. You can take one hand to your belly and one hand to your lower back. Inhale into the hand on the belly. As you exhale, scoop the belly in and up and drop the tailbone and make the section in front of your, between your hip bones steady. Inhale, bring your arms up to shoulder height. As you exhale, take your right elbow on top of your left, cross your arms as much as you can before bringing the hands together, twisting the hands in a clockwise direction, hands away from your face. Now begin to lift your elbows up. Those of you who use TT bikes, this is really great for getting the flexibility through the shoulders. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to pulse back, keeping a straight line between your legs, your pelvis and your torso. Exhale, tailbone reaches away, pulse back. Inhale up. The action as you breathe out of really scooping in and up through the lower belly will help give you the internal strength for this work. Really press your shins down into the floor. Swimmers, you'll enjoy the opening of your ankle joint, allowing a better point in your freestyle. Next time you come up, release the work. Inhale, arms come up. This time as you exhale, right elbow comes over beyond left. Bring the hands together, twist the hands in an anti-clockwise direction. Hands away from the face, lift the elbows up. Establish the work in your pelvis, scooping in and up through the lower belly. And as you exhale, pulse back. Inhaling up, exhaling back. Inhaling up. Now, if your quads are tight, it may well be that you don't go quite as far back as you imagine. Just working to your comfortable capacity. Inhaling, coming up, and exhale and release. Clasp your hands together behind your back. Lengthen down into your knuckles. Push down through your shins and begin to arch back, pressing your hips lightly forward, stretching your arms down the backs of your legs. Taking 3 deep breaths with the heart lifting up towards the ceiling. Push down through your shins, inhale, come on up. And exhale and release. Fingertips in front of your knees, turn your toes under, feet nice and wide. Walk the hands in and just roll around your feet, stretching through the plantar fascia. And coming into your squat, you might need to set your feet a bit wider apart. You might need to let your feet turn out a little bit and drop down into your squat. Push down through your heels and inhale and reach up. Exhale, send your bottom back. Press your knees wide. Come down. Press into the heels, knees press wide, reach high. Exhale, bottom goes back, press the knees wide, come down. A few more. Next time you come up, release the arms by your side and remain standing. So this next one, you're going to need a chair, preferably a dining chair as opposed to a sofa, unless you've already nailed your pistol squats, in which case you can work with as low a seat as you need to, but that's about as low as I can manage it. This will help with your ankle flexibility and your hip strength. So you're going to start with your bottom on the edge of the seat, and you're going to lift one leg. And then inhale, stand up. Exhale, sit down. Inhaling, coming up. Exhale, controlling the descent. Inhaling, coming up. Exhale down. See if you can do 2 more. release. It helps stabilize up your hips. Sitting down for the left-hand side, right leg comes up. Push down, inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. I'm trying to do 5 each side. One more. And exhale and release. Well done. Okay. A little bit more hip stability work. And this will help to lengthen out those quadriceps. Ground your left foot. Fix your gaze on something that won't wobble. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Inhale. Reach your hands down towards the floor and exhale. Come back into warrior 3. Bending the left knee, take the right toes to the mat. Really stretch through that right leg, lift up through your pelvis. Inhale and lift the arms up high. Pressing into the front foot, exhale, bring the knee into the chest. Inhale, go forward. Exhale, toes to the mat. Inhale, reach up. Now you might start a little bit more wobbly. It depends where you are in your training week as to how fatigued you are. But just go with that. If you need to drop the back knee to the floor for your stability, then that's fine too. Last time, right knee to the chest. Forward. Toes to the mat. Breathe in, reach up. Push into the left foot. Come back to standing. Let's swap over and do the other side. So ground your right foot. Get nice and straight through your crown, your belly, your pelvic floor and your ankles. Weight into the right foot, bring the left knee in towards your chest. Deep breath in. Hands come beside you. Exhale, tip forward into warrior 3. Drop the back toes to the floor. Inhale and reach the arms up high. Step into the right foot, bring the left knee in towards your chest. Forward into warrior 3. Toes to the mat, bend the front knee. Inhale up. Remember, drop the back knee to the floor if you're wobbly. Step into the right foot, bring the knee to the chest. Keep flowing through. One more time this side. And back to standing. Deep breath in. And slow breath out. Take your feet hip distance apart. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, come forward over your legs. You can have a soft bend in the knees if you need to, hands to the backs of the legs. If you're really tight in the backs of the legs, then you can go back to your chair, go back to your sofa, and you can work with your hands on the back of the chair, hands down on the shoulder, on the sofa. Just try and tip the weight forward towards the fronts of the feet. Effectively, if you're feeling a stretch in the backs of the legs, then you're lengthening out those hamstrings. Just use your breath. The out breath, just relaxing through the backs of the legs. And we're going to come out of that by taking the hands to the floor, walking the feet back, dropping the knees to the floor, and coming to sitting. Sit tall, on your mat, turn your right foot out and bring your right foot up towards you. And you're going to take hold of your right foot with both hands. And you're just going to row, row, row your boat. Now you might find, if you do a lot of cycling and not much stretching, that a really small row, row your boat is just fine for you. If you feel happy, the knee is happy, you can make that as exaggerated as feels nice, and you can row in both directions as well. Oiling up that hip. Keep a light flex in your foot just to protect your knee joint. And when enough's enough, you're going to take that foot to the inside of your left leg. If you've got pain in your knee at all, you can prop up that knee with a block. Otherwise, you can just open it. Turn and face your left leg. Sprinkle your fingers either side of your left heel. Take a deep breath in. And exhale and come forward over the leg. If you can hold your foot, then that's dandy. If you can't, then that's fine. Don't bounce here, just rest. Don't scrunch your chin towards your chest. Keep your chest open and your collarbones wide. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, relax through your face. Ideally, you need to spend about between 5 and 10 deep breaths in each stretch. It takes 20 seconds or so for your body to recognise what it is you're asking from it. So if you're a doer, learn to be patient here. Inhale, look up. And exhale and release. Bring that knee in and slide the heel away from you. Turn your left foot out and draw your left foot up the inside of your right leg. Oh no, or hold it, as the case may be. And then you're going to row, row, row your boat on the left-hand side. Again, remember to keep a slight flex in the ankle to protect the knee. One way and then the other. And then resting the left foot up the inside of the right leg. If you need to, place a block underneath the knee. Turn your body, face your right leg, take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, come forward over that leg. Press the heel lightly down into the floor. Imagine that foot was pressing into a wall. Lift lightly up through the quadriceps. And invite your left ribs a little bit closer to your right knee. Deep rhythmical breaths. Okay, inhale and come back in. And exhale, bring that knee in towards your chest. And release. So you're going to lie down now. For many of my triathlon buddies, just getting them to stretch is quite tough in their busy schedules of training. So the idea of lying down is perhaps even more alien to them. However, I like to do it just for a couple of minutes after my practice when I'm training, because it's a reminder of the importance of rest and recovery so that you can rebuild stronger. So please lie down. You take your legs apart and let your feet relax out to the side, lying on your back. Take the arms away from your body and turn your palms up to face the sky. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale with a sigh. Now this time as you breathe in, you're going to flex your feet. You're going to reach your heels away from you, lift your hands off the mat, make tight, tight fists with your hands. And as you breathe out, you're going to relax your feet and relax your hands down to the mat. And then you're going to practice doing nothing. Neil Donald Walsh wrote that if you think your life is about doingness, you do not understand what you're about. Your soul doesn't care what you do for a living. And when your life is over, neither will you. Your soul cares only about what you're being while you are doing, whatever it is you're doing. It is a state of beingness the soul is after, and not a state of doingness. Take as much rest here as you need. Teaching yoga is my vocation, my passion, and my pleasure. As more folk look to be self-sufficient in their practice, I've been asked to create yoga classes online as a resource for you. This is only possible through your ongoing support and generosity. If you use them, love them, and value them, then please consider supporting this work by a monthly subscription on my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/yogawithemma. Like, share, and subscribe the page with like-minded friends. Thank you for your support.